What up there, people? It's your boy. I have my controller. I had it in here, and if we look right here, you can tell there's really no opening. My controller was pretty much sitting in a little oven, so every time it would heat up, it couldn't really get its heat out. And this was the only air intake I had, but as you see, there's no way for the air to escape. It'll go through here, but there's a whole lot of shit in there. It's just steel on steel, and then the heat would just go up and up and up, and it'll never allow it to go down. And I was having heat issues. Luckily, the bike never cut off, but it did indeed slow my power down. I went from like being able to do 55, 60, all the way down to like 35 miles per hour. And that's just annoying when you're in heavy traffic full of fast-moving cars. So I did a little transplant. I moved the controller from there to here, and as you can tell, it's not the smoothest in the world, but it's a lot more open. So you can see this side, I used computer parts from a case my parents were throwing away. This side is nice and open. This whole front is open, so air can get through there, but this side's nice and open. That's closed off, so water doesn't splash onto the controller. And this is closed off because I don't need both sides to be open, seeing that this is still open. But the reason I have the other side open is because, as you see, we have a fan here. The fan will blow air onto the controller, the heat sink, and then that grill shall allow the air to bounce off of the controller, pretty much pushing away the hot air away from the controller while throwing in some cool air on it. And I got that to work by hooking it to my tail lights. So now when I turn my lights on and off, as you can hear, the fan goes on. So now today is about 83 degrees. It's even warmer than it was last time this thing had a heat issue. So we are going to see how good this controller cools. We're just going to go in gear 3. We're not going to always go top speed because I don't want to burn anything else out, but we're going to be hitting it fast, accelerating, just trying to heat the controller up and see how it cools off. All right, we're out here now. It is a really nice day for riding. So another thing I do want to test though too, hope the fan doesn't fucking break down because the wind is trying to keep it from spinning, just in case the wind is hitting it in an angle where it would go the opposite way of where the fan is. But the fan, I guess, if it's still getting a lot of air, might not be as useful while driving, but driving is kind of a problem because you can tell, I mean, obviously, that was that. Because driving, you know, you get a lot of air from driving. It's more of when we stop. When we stop, we have, I think we have a problem here. Okay, I'm hearing a weird ass noise and I'm not sure what it is, but I have a feeling of what it might be. I don't know what I'm hearing, but it's one thing I forgot to mention. As you can see, the clearance is not big. So you say that it might not be an issue, but it is, because I purposely got soft springs so this ride can be a little more comfortable compared to my Project Flash. And I don't know if I could be wrong, but I feel like I keep hearing tire screeching. I want to see if I can, if I have the proper tool to stiffen up the spring right now, because I'm sure this is not good on these tires. Not good on these tires at all. All right, so we're back. I touched the controller. It's still feeling quite hot. We did still do a lot of gear 3. I did some more accelerating. Might get up to like 151. So about 150. Okay. Oh, I saw it peak up to 151. Alright, so obviously a whole lot of gear 3, a whole lot of accelerating. Something I wouldn't do all the time. At least not for normal street riding. But the good thing about it is the point of the fan. If I'm sitting in a red light for a long time after building up some decent amount of heat, we still have, and see that I can feel that warm air coming off. We still have the fan to pull in the cooler air to hit the controller. So while we're standing here doing nothing, this will help it take that heat off faster. And just see if we have any drastic temp changes. So we've seen it went from 151 to probably about 137. It's slowing down, so maybe 136. within a minute or less. Just having that strong ass fan on. And mind you guys, this is a server fan. Yep, 136. This is a server fan, so that fan blows a lot of air. It's 3,700 RPMs. It's a nice fan. Alright, we're back at it. I stiffened the springs. It actually wasn't that hard. So we're still in gear 3. Still want to keep this thing up a little bit, and then after a little more gear 3s, because we've done 9 miles, we got an extra mile so far. We're going to go to gear 2, because that's the setting that I'm going to use the most. Let me be realistic. Gear 1 is for heavy traffic, so no one's really driving fast because it's packed up. We're all only doing like 36 to 40, 45 miles per hour. Gear 1 can give me about 48. Or I need to go somewhere really far and I'm really trying to save battery. So I'll go in gear 1 to save as much battery as possible and just say, fuck it, if I'm driving too slow for everybody else, they can go around me. Like, see right now, this road is not meant for you to be speeding on anyways, but there's a little bit of cars up here, people changing lanes, so we're not going super fast. So usually right here I'll be in gear 3. I'll usually be in gear 1. Gear 2 is the setting I'll probably always be in. It has a good amount of torque, good low end torque for passing power, good speed. I can get up to 60 on gear 2. Yeah, this road right here, but I don't hear that scraping noise no more. We haven't hit the big potholes. We're gonna do a U-E because the other side has even bigger potholes. This road over here. I'm on this road because I'm trying to see if we're gonna get some more tire scraping. Like these right here. I don't hear no tire scraping, but holy hell is it rough. Yep, I'm not hearing no tire scraping. So this might be the setting we have to stick to. It's rough as hell though. Not as rough as I thought it would be, but it's rough. So that's good. I don't have to extend the swing arm, because the problem with trying to extend the swing arm is I can either do it the lazy way and extend it by the wheel mounts, the flat metal pieces, but that might look a little ugly. If I try to make it look good, I'll have to find the right top size steel tubing, and I'll have to do a lot of work to make sure it's on proper, that the wheel mounts aren't twisted. It'll take more work, and I don't even know if this bike would look good with an extended swing arm. And I'm not really going crazy. I think actually, you know what? I think it would look good with an extended swing arm, but I'm not going crazy to do that. I'm not going crazy to do that at all. So I really don't want to try to go and extending the swing arm and shit for no reason, when once again I'm not going crazy for that look. Not that we've done any speed, but we haven't gotten too high yet. We still got power. I would hit it on this road, but these potholes and rough ass roads gonna throw me off this bike. Looks pretty smooth right here. Why do I also feel like, because I'm pretty sure this tire was unbalanced, and unless it's the rough road that's, no, it's not the rough road. This road right here is a tad bit smoother. It doesn't feel as bouncy anymore, so I wonder, this tire probably still is a little bit unbalanced. Probably still needs some wheel weights, but I'm thinking the softer suspension was making this bounce more. Let's take it to gear 2. Okay, now the wheel is bouncing more. Sheesh. We're gonna roll around in gear 2 as much as possible. See how long we maintain this power. We're gonna get a good amount of speed on gear 2, and at the end, we're not gonna hit the turn. We're gonna go to the dirt over there, and we're gonna see what the temps are looking like. Miles, I think, if my memory is not failing me. Now we are at 14.43, so about half of that was probably gear 3, some more accelerating, and then the rest was gear 2 and some pretty decent speeds. So now let's turn the fan off so the fan doesn't cool it off too fast, and let's see what the temps are looking at. I wonder if we're going to hit 150 again. My problem is when it hits at 150, does that air go back down fast enough? I'm thinking if we're standing still long enough, it will. All right, 138, we're sticking there. So not bad at all. Now, even though it did have a decent sized brake. I guess it would have a brake like that if we were, actually wrong pocket, if we were going somewhere, if I was going to the store. I was going somewhere where I have to sit in there long and I let the air come off. But obviously that's the temps with the fan off. The temps with the fan on go away pretty fast. So you know what, I might have done a decent job. Obviously I have no choice but to do a temp test when it gets even hotter. That's still the scary part. It's only like 83, maybe 80. It should be like 86 degrees now. It's only 86 degrees out here. It will get up to 108 to 110 like last year. So when that happens, are the temps still going to be maintainable? Because if not, if they're still not going to be maintainable, well, that kind of sucks, because I did want to try water cooling, but when doing the research I did, I thought a lot of people water cooled this controller, the EM260. Turns out I was wrong. There's another reason why we go in gear 1, because of school time. You gotta slow it down, so I use all that extra power and torque just to be right here. Yeah, like I was saying though, I didn't find as much people water cooling this controller as I thought I did. It turns out I only found like 2 people, and I'm pretty sure one dude said it was custom. The other guy didn't really specify, if I remember correctly, but I'm assuming it has to be custom, because once again, they're the only 2 that I've seen do water cooling on this controller. And obviously I don't have the tools to make a custom water aluminum block that'll fit this. And even if I did have those tools, I don't think I'd have space on this bike. I'm pretty sure I could figure something out, but the first idea I did have wouldn't have any space. But regardless, at the end of the day, I really had no proper way to water cool the controller. Everything people did was custom. So that kind of sucked. But I'm like, you know what, the air cooling that I'm doing now should be better than nothing, and probably a little bit better than just sitting the controller back there without that fan, because now it gets an extra amount of air on it, at least during standstill. That's the main thing I'm worried about. Moving, we're getting all this air right now. It may be behind the battery box and all that, but it's still going to get some air. When we're not moving, the controller's more open so the heat can move more. But besides that, besides relying on that, there's not much heat still coming off of the controller. I would only hope to not have these problems, because I see so much people set their controllers up like this, like literally everybody. That's the one goofy mistake I made, is not allowing the heatsink to breathe. I had the heatsink covered up in that box up there. Now I have space for the heatsink to breathe. But I'm hoping adding this extra fan would work, especially once again for when it's standstill and it's getting really no air, no more cool air on it. But that's also another scary part during these summer heat. The fan will kind of just throw warm air on the controller. I'm sure the air will be cooler than what the controller is producing, but still not the coolest air in the world. Here we are, we're going on this road again. Gear 2. I am still really happy though I got rid of the tire scraping. It was a nice easy job. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit though. See if we can get the controller hotter. Sheesh. This bike, man, it's like too fun. As y'all can see, this is why this is going to be my main gear. You got some good passing power, good torque, good speed. This is what's really going to help me get around in this traffic. So we have now done an overall of 24 miles. The GoPro battery is getting very low, so I think it's about time we go and check these temps. Holy hell, my GoPro's at 5%. It's gonna cut off at any moment. So see, usually by this point, we'd be at like 200 degrees. See, as you can hear, the GoPro died on us, but as you can see, we only hit 155 degrees. That's about 45 to 50 degrees cooler than what the controller did in its original placement. And the controller in its original placement hit 200 plus degrees Fahrenheit within about 14 or less miles. Well, we did a lot more Gear 3, a lot more Gear 2, 10 extra miles, and still was nowhere near this controller's max temperature. So, I think I did a pretty goddamn good job. Now, I can't get too excited. In the state of Nevada, summer's gonna be really hot. So I'm gonna have to test this again. But as of right now, it's looking good. So I hope you all enjoyed that. If you did, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the rest of my videos. I do e-bikes. It's been. Stay tuned for more. And I'm out. Peace.